Lamar. Oh my God, Lamar. I know names. Got his big contract extension. For a day was the highest paid quarterback in the league. They have a new offensive coordinator coming into town. Greg Roman's gone. What kind of in conjunction with the new offensive coordinator and this new contract, are you expecting something different with Lamar and how this offense is going to look this upcoming season?
I don't really know, guys. This is the thing. So I feel like people are so excited about Todd Monken coming to the Ravens.
It's because of volume.
Yeah, they're like, oh my God, it's not going to be like Baker Mayfield and the Browns. No way. No way, right? They threw 534 times and Baker threw 21 interceptions and 22. It will never be like that, which was, by the way, his last offensive coordinator job in the NFL. It's, of course, going to be like Jameis Winston, but only in that last year he was with them, not the years prior. No. Only that last year when they had Ryan Fitzpatrick, and then also, are we going to forget that Baker Mayfield threw 21 interceptions, and then Jameis Winston threw how many interceptions? How many?
30?
30, yeah.
Enough that he should have had his own documentary made about it. That's
so
how bad it is.
Those two quarterbacks are who we have to look at with Todd Monken here. So if Lamar Jackson does throw more, that takes away from his rushing. That sucks for fantasy. And then is he going to start throwing interceptions left and right? Like, we don't want that because that's bad for fantasy. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen to him, but I'm not personally excited about this OC change like everyone else. It's like he was a pretty good fantasy quarterback with what's his name? Why can't I think of Greg Roman? Like, why are we like, oh, it has to get better with Todd Monken? No, it doesn't. And every single year, it kind of gets worse with Lamar with his passing stats. Every single year, he's regressing in passing stats. Now, rushing, he's still amazing. But and that's really all I'm worried about when it comes to fantasy. So please don't pass more. Please run more in the same amount.
I mean, here's the thing though, like in 2019, in that season where Jameis Winston, he threw
30 touchdowns,
33 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. He did have 626 pass attempts. He was, despite those 30 interceptions, the QB3 on the year because of that volume.
Lamar Jackson's never going to throw it 636 times.
I agree. But I'm just saying, like, a boost in the volume paired with what I think is...
Winston also had Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And I know people want to hype up OBJ and Zay Flowers. Those two were not even close to what Mike Evans and Chris Godwin were that year.
You have Mark Andrews. Let's not forget Mark Andrews. I'm just saying, I do think this is
Bateman. I mean, come on. They've got all this talent.
The master Bateman is sitting there just waiting for more targets.
They have a bunch of wide receiver twos.
But like a bunch of wide receiver twos is better than I think what Lamar Jackson
He's basically going to be playing with what Patrick Mahomes was playing with last year. Pretty much exactly. Now he's going to have to be just as good as Patrick Mahomes as a passer.
What do you think?
Let's see if he can.
No, he doesn't, because he has a safer rushing floor.
Oh, yeah. I'm just talking about if the OC wants to become way more pass heavy, he's going to have to then prove that he can run an offense with a bunch of wide receiver twos and a great tight end. And,
I just think, like, you have questions about Todd Monken, which is fine. I think that's very fair. And I don't know necessarily how much like volume is going to help or hurt Lamar Jackson, because I do think if you see an increase in volume, you're probably going to see a decrease in efficiency, especially just given historically what we've seen with these quarterbacks.
So 2021, he was averaging 31.8 passing attempts per game, by far his highest in his career. And that's when he had his lowest passer rating, 87.0, really, really bad passer rating for an NFL quarterback. And he only had 16 touchdowns. I know he missed a handful of games there, but he wasn't on pace for very many. 16 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. So again, he didn't play. He missed a handful of games and still had 13 interceptions.
Still the QB7 in fantasy points per game in that instance.
Yeah, he's going to be a good fantasy quarterback.
That's what we're talking. We're talking about fantasy.
It was, what are your expectations for him in his passing
in the context of fantasy?